Yeah, so now we
Now
absolutely
it's
are recording.
recording.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Um, I really appreciate you for your time, bro. Like, I don't tell you that enough, and I know as a brother who's been doing this for quite a while. When I say doing this, I just mean, you know, trying to encourage our folks to do the right thing and do something different.
Hmm.
I just appreciate it straight up. And it's 10:42 on that East Coast time, so I extra appreciate you. How you feeling tonight, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm off. I'm off. Whenever I'm off, I'm good because I don't have to worry about, getting sleep and getting up at a certain time. I could just do what I want to do.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I'm sitting here waiting to eat after this because I'm starving. But other than that, I'm cooling and really excited to get you on here. I think, man, I don't know when I told you I wanted you to come back on and talk to me, but it's been a minute. We've
Hmm.
been busy and all kind of other stuff. Shoot, we didn't seen each other in Georgia and everything else. I think it was before that when I first asked you, told you that I wanted you to come back on. But thank you. And I'm still gonna kind of go down the stuff that was on my mind, even though I didn't heard your perspective on some of it, because I
Hmm.
know, like, for me, for instance, like my perspective and my like spirit behind some of the stuff that I be for will stay the same, but my perspective can change as like things change and information change. You understand? So
Right.
I'm gonna take it all the way. I'm not gonna take it all the way back to the debate, but it's interesting is because that's what sparked me wanting to talk to you again. Was I seen some of the debate and I was like, man, I want to talk to bro about this, and I think it really would have been really, really good to actually do like a recap, a debate recap, or something like that. But since we since we fast forward all the way now to shoot, it's a whole different platform and an arena now with Kamala running. So basically, just let me know what you thinking and how you feeling about the current political state in America right now. You don't even have to make it about race, but just in general,
Mhm.
the current state of politics in America as you see it, please.
Well, of course, I'm always going to approach it from our perspective. So I really, to be honest with you, haven't dedicated much brain power to anything outside of us. So from our perspective within that context, um, I just see American politics as black people constantly playing, you know, um, damage control. It's like every election cycle is damage control. We're not getting into the positions where we can actually use leverage to have policies that benefit our community. And that's the most frustrating thing about politics and American politics in particular. And that's the reason why I used to be into it just merely for entertainment's sake, like just so I could know what was going on and just laugh at it. But then a couple of years ago, I just felt like everybody was just being so disingenuous that it was no need for me to even pay attention to it. So I took every political commentator, even the ones that I liked, off of my timeline. Because I just felt like everybody was just basically involved in this just to get clicks and views and build up their brand. And nobody was really serious about anything. And especially from our perspective, you know what I mean? Like,
I, I
there
do.
wasn't anybody out there talking about things from African centered perspective. So what's the point? So that's how I feel about American politics in terms of us as black folks. We are constantly playing damage control, meaning you better vote for this one so that this one don't get it. Every election cycle is the
Let me
same thing.
let me tell you something, bro. It's crazy because in my head, and I even wrote down damage control with a question mark because I wanted you to break it down. And you even
Mhm.
even in breaking it down, you did it really quick. I think you really need to break that down. That's one of them concepts that's like it's so damn, I can't even think of the opposite of form right now. Feeling really old. but you so used to this thought. But this is a foreign thought to other people. I don't think people understand the concept when you say that we always plan damage control. I think it's really something you should break down, if you don't mind, even though it might not be that exciting for you.
No, no, I can break it down. I think it's the reason why people don't understand it is because they don't have a fundamental understanding of how politics works. And I don't think that you need to be a scholar or anything to know how it works. It basically works like this. If you have a block of people or a group of people, they get together and pool their votes together and use it as leverage against the two parties. So you got the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. This is basically a two-party country. I know that there is, the third party, but it's really, they really don't really have much political pull, or sway, I should say. So when I say damage control, what I mean is the way that this works is if black people in a perfect world were functioning the way that we're supposed to function, we would vote as a huge voting block. And then what we can do is either use that voting block. I guess the best way to express that voting block would be to um, vote or join a third party outside of the Democrats and the Republicans. Because once you have like a really strong third party, even though that third party won't win the election, because it's just a numbers game. There's more Democrats and more Republicans and more people voting for them. That third party can use its voters as leverage to pass policies that that party wants. So that would be us in a perfect world. Like black folks, let's say, just hypothetically, would take over hostile take over the Green Party because the Green Party has ballot access. They've gone through the process that a lot of third parties have not been through. And that's why it's very difficult to form another third party. Very difficult. But the Green Party's already done that. So my thing is, why reinvent the wheel? If black folks were to just take over that party, join that party and take it over, then they can use their votes as leverage for either the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, whoever is going to give us the policies that we want. Now, that's how it's supposed to work. The reason why it's damage control perpetually is because we don't even consider ourselves a group of people. I made this statement before. There is no we, there is no us, and there is no our on a socioeconomic and political level. It's only a we, us, and our aesthetically. Because we're really just a scattered group of individuals, and the only thing that aligns us is aesthetics. People can look at us and see that we're black. That's the only thing that really unites us in this country, because we don't operate as a cohesive unit. But everybody treats us like one, which is really weird, but that's another story. So Democrats don't feel the need to appeal to us except to get us to vote for them. Like they never come and say, hey, if you vote for me, I'm going to give you this and give you that, and we're going to pass these policies. Never that. They come to us and say, listen, we like you guys. We're not going to be really harsh on you. But the Republicans, if they get in, it's going to be like the Ku Klux Klan. Is all this bullshit. So basically, it's like race baiting and stuff to get black folks to vote for the Democrats, even though the Republicans aren't offering you anything either. The Democrats ain't offering you anything. So it's like which white person is going to be less of an abuser to you? It's not even treating you right or treating you good. Which one do you perceive is going to be less of an abuser? Which policies are going to be less abusive to us as a community? And we vote on that. We never come to the table with policies that we're pushing and demanding that a party passes for our community. So that's what I mean by damage control. The only time they want our votes is to keep the other party from getting into power, and that's usually the Democrats trying to keep the Republicans from getting the power, because the perception is Republicans is the ones that hate black folks more than anything, and the Democrats are the ones who like black folks. That's why they had Obama run, and now they have Kamala run. Even though both the Democrats and the Republicans push the same goddamn policies, they both status quo parties pushing the status quo, and that does not benefit black folks at all. But that's the game that we're playing because we don't know what our agenda is. We don't offer our agenda to either party. So it's kind of hard for a party to work in your interests when you don't even know what your interests are, or you don't present your interests to them.
So with all this, you keep on saying interest, and you keep talking about like groups, and you talk about like taking over the Green Party and stuff like that, and it makes me think about um something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, more than usual, and it's lobby groups and lobbyists. And
Hmm.
what it makes me then get to is, when the election cycles come, you have all of our celebrities, they collect a check, or they have a good heart and they push this Democratic or push this Republican narrative and go vote narrative and your vote matters narrative. And everyone knows that black people in America are a special group, but no one pushed for us to do special group things,
Right.
i.e., demand that we have our own schools instead of waiting for them to try to take slavery or something that we shouldn't be even caring about anyway in 2024. Then we respond with, "Oh no, you can't do that. We have to tell the truth." You know what I mean? Like, why don't we push for, "Hey, we want our own everything"? Like, 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 what is going on with the state of Black America where it don't seems attractive to do things together?
Because you get rewarded for doing things apart. They always throw that carrot on the stick in front of us in terms of these celebrities and athletes and people who are rich as a carrot on a stick to let you know, hey, this is what happens when you just operate as an individual. You can achieve this.
Hmm.
It's not really about the collective or your community having a better quality of life or a better economy or any of that stuff. It's all about what they call it, pull yourself up by your bootstraps,
Hmm.
and this dynamic individualism where you got these people who go out and by the sweat of their brow and blood, sweat, and tears, they became millionaires and they became billionaires and they became multimillionaires and all. And that's what they parade in front of you. And that's what everybody's going for. If you notice that just across the culture, ain't nobody talking about nationhood. Ain't nobody talking about us coming together and forming this and that. All people is talking about is cars and houses and jewelry.
I think this is what troubles me more than anything is that not only is no one really, really talking about us doing anything positive together. Let me be clear on that. We are encouraged to do things together. It's stuff like buy Hennessy, get cannabis, get
Hmm.
girls, go clubbing, get the red bottoms, get the Jordans. We are very much encouraged to do things together, and we do it. We damn sure do it. But whenever whenever it's even suggested that we do stuff together, it's like people really attack it. It's like it's not that we're just so distracted that like, man, they don't even see what's going on around them. It's like, no, why are you telling me about what's going on around me? Why don't you just sit back and look at all these distractions and chill? We don't need this unity stuff. That's that old school stuff. Like, it's it's just the most maddening thing to me that we really don't see the writing on the wall. It's what and yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really, really disgusting actually.
Well, let me unpack what you just said because yeah, we are. I wouldn't frame it that way that we work together for the dumb stuff because let's look at it like this. We're trying to get people to support us in our endeavor to do the ethical citizenship classes in Liberia, right? Now, that's a group. collective effort. So if you participate in that, you're not getting a tangible, concrete, physical thing in your hand. But if you're encouraged to buy red bottoms, you got them. You can hold them. They're in your shoe. They're in your closet. You can put them on when you go to the club. You see what I mean? It's like we're encouraged to get shit that we can physically touch and is material to us. We have no problem engaging in that. But when you're talking about helping educate citizens, where's the payoff? The immediate gratification. You understand what I'm saying? Am I making any sense? Hello? Wait. Did I lose you? Hello? Hello? Did I lose you? Emoji, did I lose you?
No, you did for a
Oh,
second. That's crazy.
what
No,
happened?
I had the I had my mic plugged in, but it was going dead.
Oh,
So
oh.
when I unplugged it, that's
I don't know
crazy.
what you heard, but I'm gonna mute myself. I want to go to the bathroom for a second. I'll be right
Of
back.
course, of course, of course, of course, of course, of course. I'm gonna figure this thing out eventually. But go ahead and pick up.
We didn't lose what we already did, right?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Oh,
not.
okay.
It's already uploaded and saved. It's 16 minutes worth of our discussion. We all
Now,
right.
what's the last thing you heard me say? Because I don't know what you got or didn't get.
Oh my goodness. What was the last thing I heard you say? Shoot, because I asked you about the last thing I heard you was talking about was like the red bottoms. You get the payoff. It's like a tangible
Oh,
payoff.
yeah. You get the
Mhm.
reason why even those things aren't really us working together. It's basically people working um to get their individual thing, and it just so happens that we all get the same thing. So in that sense, we're working together, but not really. It's not intentional. You know what I mean?
Yep, just feeding the machine.
Yeah. And that's why, because it's instant gratification, a pair of Jordans or a piece of jewelry or some physical item. We prefer that rather than looking at things as an investment for the future. We just don't do it. So I think that
Uh,
has a lot to do with it.
so I'm gonna ask you something,
Hmm.
and this just came to me, and I want you to do your best prophetic job because I don't know what's gonna happen. Honestly, I'm not as confident as others, even yourself, is that Kamala's just gonna run away with this thing. I'm really not. But I want you to give your best. If Donald Trump wins the presidency, what's gonna happen? And if Kamala wins the presidency, what's going to happen? You can give your view of what's going to happen nationally for everybody, and then you can give your post on what's the excuse me. You can give your thoughts on what you think the post of the black community is going to be on either side.
I don't think I, I don't know. When I think of something that's going to happen for us, I'm always thinking within the context of something good happening, and I count that. I don't really count if things stay the same or things get worse because that's just the reality. That's our baseline in this country. You know what I mean? Like it's either going to stay the same or get worse. That's just the baseline for Black America. So in that sense, either one of them winning really is not going to make much of a fundamental difference in our reality here in this country. There might be like in Obama where there's it's going to be more polarizing because Kamala is a black woman or a woman of color, however you want to put that. And so there's going to be some polarization based on that. If Donald Trump becomes president, I mean, we already seen that when he was president for 4 years. What really happened to our community? Did it get better? Did it get worse? Did it stay the same? I mean, his 4 years came and went, and we're still here. So I don't really place a whole lot of importance on who the president is because it's basically just a dog and pony show. You know, when Obama became president, like I said, and I tell this story all the time, me and my friend Dev, rest in peace, were in our apartment and we heard black people celebrating outside. They would like, like they won the Powerball lottery or something. And we were happy because our people were happy. Black folks didn't get to celebrate and be happy. So we like just seeing them happy made us feel good. But we knew that Obama being president was nothing was going to fundamentally change for black folks in America. And like I told you, we started the BAIO when, when Obama became president. You talk about against the grain, because black folks wasn't trying to hear nothing about nationhood. All they knew was we got a black president. They felt they had made it. I remember specifically Whoopi Goldberg saying she had these bags that she was carrying, and when Obama became president, she was able to put those bags down here in America. So the general consensus was this was nice. A blow for America. This was a blow for Black America. We have officially made it here in this country.
Because Obama was president.
Yep. And the reason why I think we gained so much traction is because we were juxtaposed against that and saying, okay, Negroes, he's president. What has changed? And that resonated with a lot of people.
It sounds like you're saying, what I hear you saying fundamentally is that nothing is going to change for us here until we decide to change something.
Exactly.
That's what it sounds like.
Exactly. Isn't that the way it always is? Just across the board for anything? Like even as an individual, if you don't go about the process of making a change in your life, what do you think is going to happen by osmosis? I use the analogy of cooking. You don't go and just take a bunch of spices and stuff out the counter and throw it into a pot and think that you're going to have an edible dish. You got to know just what amount of seasoning to use, what the heat is going to be cooked at. All of this stuff goes into whether that meal is going to be edible or not. It doesn't happen by osmosis. And that's what our problem is. We think we have too much mystical thinking about how reality is.
You just said something that's really fascinating to me, actually. When you talk about mystical thinking when it comes to reality, I've talked to people who are very intelligent. And then when it comes down to the nuts and bolts of the fact that we need to be developing a nation for our people's future, people will really come up with the most outlandish things to say. They'll just cut to the chase and be like, man, God is in control of everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they really can't sit and focus and be like, no, we actually need to be physically and intentionally doing something. Us right now, today, those of us who are breathing, who are working, who have some income coming in, who have children growing up in the world, we actually need to be doing something different for our people. They go crazy.
What did Malcolm say? In the speech that everybody loves so much, what did Malcolm say? In this day, in this time, in this society, by any means necessary. Everybody loves it by any means necessary. They forget about the part that came before that. He said, in this day, in this time, in this society, not no pie in the sky. Because everybody's talking about heaven, but nobody don't want to die. Like I said, the afterlife is the ultimate Negro stalling tactic.
Real talk though.
Because it's easy to get. I mean, it's. I told Minister DeWood, I spoke to him today, and he was talking about how dudes are using the Bible and all of these mythical stories to prove their point. And I said, well, what we need to start doing is, since they're doing that, I'm going to start using Marvel Comics. Anytime I want to make a point, I'm going to say, you see, because if you look at Spider-Man issue number 299, it's like, I'm going to start doing that. Since we're going to engage in fantasy, I'm going to engage in fantasy too.
There's several reasons why I don't take the Bible when people use that serious. There's several reasons why, but the easiest ones why is that anybody who used the Bible to quote or reference anything about life, whenever you bring up a different verse, they'll say, "Well, obviously you don't take that literally." You know what I mean?
Right.
That's like the worst. So I just don't want to talk to you at all. Like, if we're not taking it all literal, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to pick and choose what's true in the Bible. So I don't want to talk to you.
You know what's funny to me? Nat Turner read that Bible and decided that he was going to kill some white people to be free.
What'd you say, bro?
Nat Turner was a preacher, right?
This was a fact.
He read that Bible, and something in that Bible told him to kill his slave master. So my question is, what Bible was he reading? Can we get that?
My theory is that they gave him the black Bible and said you only preach from this Bible, but he was meandering around reading other things, and he came to enlightenment. I think that's what happened with old Nat Turner, and Nat said, "Hold on, man, that spirit woke up. You know how people get woke or come into consciousness." He came into consciousness and said, "The only way that I can get from around these people is to hurt one of these people, because they're beast. They don't understand talk, and they're not gonna understand the Bible because they're lying about it." And he took care of his business.
Yeah, man.
And that's another. You just made me think about another thing as I finished talking about. Excuse me, Nat Turner. Whenever I post something, James Baldwin, Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, everybody loves it. Everybody loves the old ancestors. Everybody loves the '60s, the civil rights leaders. Everybody loves it. But when in the comment section, nobody want to talk about like actually doing what they said. Like, it's crazy, but when we talk about we shouldn't be stressing this vote stuff, people will literally say, "My people died to vote." What about those of them who literally died to get us away from these people, who literally died for us to have quote unquote freedom and the equality that we still don't have, and nobody's doing anything about it? That's the part that kills me. No one wants to do anything about it. Like, we don't believe in revenge. We don't believe in retribution. We just believe in forgiving everybody except for each other. That's the people we can't forget, because when we talk about doing something together, we can't forgive and forget what we've done to each other. Ooh, black people lied to each other. Black people hurt each other. Africans sold slavery. Blah, blah, blah. But we forgive the universe, what everybody else does to us every day. We forget about it. But when it comes to us, though, we brutal. We need to let that go.
Yeah, I've made that point before in a video. I forget. I'm trying to remember. Where black folks position themselves in America as the moral compass of the universe. That's that Bagger Vance and Green Mile phenomenon. You know what I'm talking about? Where we're the moral voice of the universe, and we cannot do anything to hurt other people, because if we do, the Earth will spin off its axis and the universe might explode. And I made the point that if that's the case, why isn't the Earth spinning off its axis and the universe exploding when people do stuff to us? I just find that interesting that the universe only explodes when we do something, but yet when it's happening to us, the universe is fine and the Earth just keeps on spinning.
Okay. So this is my last question. And I want to really I really wish I had the answer to this. But what do you think is gonna take? And now this is my thing. I'm not even talking about just the average. That'll be nice. But what do you think is gonna take to really galvanize those of us? Because I've even came in contact with people who seem to be really about it and really want to do something for our people. Like really have a heart. They might not have the like rah rah, but they definitely have a heart for they people and want to do something. But when it comes down to like, hey, y'all, we could actually gather and commune in Liberia and really make it go right from there. We could really develop that into the Wakanda that we want in our image. Like, what is it going to take to get the people who claim to be pro-black to get on board with that? Because people even come all the way and be like, yeah, man, I'm with this African stuff. And then you say, yeah, but the place and the actual spot that's already there for us is Liberia. People, it's like, obviously, people be waiting for an out, right? When you talk about the Negro stalling tactics, people are always seemingly waiting for an out. But it seems like Liberia, that becomes the hurdle then. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you think needs to some? I ain't even gonna say no miraculous event because everything happened to us here, and it don't seem like nothing happened but more fear. But go ahead, take it away, please.
Well, I think that we need to. The answer to it is what me, you, and Underrated are doing. Ultimately, people need to know what we're doing, and they don't. And the reason why they don't is because we're not advertising it. We're not campaigning about it. We're not promoting it. So we can't really complain that people aren't really supportive of it because most people don't know about it. We have to be vocal, we have to be loud, and we got to show people how what we're doing is unique, is effective, is successful, is all of those things. And you're not going to really see it being done anywhere else. Look at what we were able to accomplish just amongst ourselves. We've already graduated 2 classes, working on a third, and Umar Johnson hasn't even put 1 class in this school that he's been working on for 10 years. So us taking, just personal accountability, we need to shout from the mountaintops what we're doing. Now, in terms of what we need to do going forward, this is my personal opinion. Everybody in the on BAIO currently has taken their skill set and used it for the BAIO. People who have skills have to get off the sidelines. There are people on the sidelines who probably are web developers. Shouldn't they use that skill to run the website? There's people on the sidelines who's probably into marketing and promotion, who's probably into graphic design, who's into content creation. Shouldn't you use that skill set to help? People got to get involved. There's no way that we are going to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish if people stay on the sidelines. So what each person has to do is what I do. I sit back and say, what can I give to help my nation? What can I do? Where is my money being spent? Am I supporting my nation, or am I supporting white people? And each person has to ask themselves that question, because if you're sitting here supporting white people, and when I say supporting white people, I mean where you look at your money and your expenditures, where is it going? Is it going toward anything that's for the empowerment and the development and the future of your people? Or is it going toward a furry hat and coat, or a watch, or some rings and chains, or some red bottoms, or the rest of this materialistic bullshit that does not help us as a collective? So that's where I think things should go. If people really are serious, they got to get involved.
I can't remember it. Oh man, it was a. You had said something last time we had talked. I can't remember where it was. I think it was on a live. But damn, you had said something. It was such a I know what it was, bro. I know what it was. It was actually a bar. You said, and I think I did end it on that too. And we're gonna do it like that again. You said that our excuse me, our ancestors didn't die to vote. They
Right,
died so that they could have political power.
right.
And that's a huge difference. I never heard nobody break it down like that.
Yeah, they
Now
did
that
not
I
fight.
hear
They did not die for the right to vote. What they wanted was um, to have political power within the system. That's what they wanted, not just to vote. Those are two different things.
oh shoot. Damn, man. Okay, so I lied. Now I gotta challenge you. I gotta challenge you to educate me.
Hmm.
Seriously. Now, you just made me think about what you said previously about they die so that they can have political power within the system.
Hmm.
Big bruv, we have an entire congressional wing. The Congressional Black Caucus, like that's a real thing.
Hmm.
We've had a black president. Like there's a black woman running for president right now, which I can go down a rabbit hole of. Isn't it interesting how this is the actually second blackity black
Hmm.
person who's running for president, but there's been no openly gay, there's been no Asian, there's been no Mexican, there's been no. But anyway, I don't want to go there. But I do want to say it appears that we do have a lot of political representation and even political quote unquote power, being that you have a whole congressional wing.
No, no, we
So
don't.
what? Wait a
Let
minute.
me let
What
me
the hell?
correct you on that.
What the hell?
We don't have political power, because all of those things you just pointed to was brought forth by voting, and basically us serving as cannon fodder for the Republicans and the Democrats. I noticed the Koreans don't really vote. You know what I'm saying? I know the people who have power or have actual communities, you don't really see them running for president. This Korean dude ran for president so that his Korean community could actually have a community. No, that doesn't. Political power is how you yield your numbers, the ability to make people dance to your tune. If you don't have the ability to make people dance to your tune, you ain't got. I'll give you an example. The LGBTQ community has political power, but do they have a president, a vice president? They don't get their power from political positions. They get their powers by them collectively working together as a community, enforcing people to dance to their tune. Black people don't do that. That's political power, not voting, not just getting in there. Hey, we're going to vote to put this Democrat in office. We're going to go to put this Republican. That is not political power because all the other ethnic groups in America don't operate that way. What was the last Jewish president?
You see, I think the reason why I appreciate you so much, big bro, is because like I listen to you and I know where you coming from, and like this is like common sense things and solutions, like actual solutions. When we
Hmm.
talk about lobbying groups, we can collectively, and I'm so shocked. Damn, my computer is gonna die soon. We almost finished, but I'm so shocked, big bro, that you didn't get to the um One United Bank thing. But when we talk about lobbying groups, guess what? If black people are putting their money in a good place, then we could actually take from that pot, i.e., One United Bank, and have several lobbying groups, like people with what we talking about political power do. This is like the basis of American politics, though. We think that
Hmm.
it's just the voting part. No, the basis of American politics is paying politicians. It's bribery. Let's be very
Right.
clear. And we're not interested in that. You know what happens when we talk like that? We get scared, start clutching our pearls and saying, "Oh, it's corrupt. It's this and this and that." This is reality. This is the reality that we don't want to deal with. But we can. We can deal with it, people. We actually can. We even have
Y-
the tools available to us here.
That
And
just proves my point. What you
my
just
challenge.
said,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
what you just said proves my point. Let's look at let's put it on the scale. Black people can vote somebody into office. That's on one side of the scale. Or black people can pool their resources together, form an African American fund, use One United Bank as the place that collects that fund, and pay off a politician that we want to get a policy passed. Which one do you think is a better option?
Well, from what I know, and what from everybody knows, is that the bully does not respect you as long as you keep getting bullied. even
Hmm.
even if the bully still don't like you for whatever reason, but in particularly if they're just a bully and you're just a target, like you haven't done anything wrong to this bully, the moment you step up to that bully, they give you dap and say, "Let's go, you with me now, you down,
Hmm.
you ain't no punk." But you know what black people been doing since we've been here? Now mind you, y'all, I understand why. I really do. Let me be clear on that, because I always talk like I'm just this big. No, man. I get why we so beat down. I get why we so traumatized. I get the PTSD that we're suffering from. I get all of that. But at the same time, at some point, we have to stand the fuck up and say, okay, cool. All that shit's happened, but we about to reverse it. And we have the tools available to us. Everything is available to us. But it's not
Hmm.
gonna happen while we stand up here indulging in the same trauma, talking about that we're healing. How long are we gonna be on this healing trip? This mental health trip? It's been about 5, 10 years now, y'all. When is the fucking healing gonna actually happen? We have to be intentional about it, not just talking about that shit.
And we're not. We have not been just talking. We've been doing action. But the problem is the court jester is on the microphone.
Hmm.
And our microphone is not as big as theirs.
It will be. Y'all
Yeah,
gonna
of
start
course it will
listening.
be.
Y'all gonna start listening.
It will be because we're going to be putting out, we're going to have an ad campaign and putting out information, letting people know exactly what we're doing. We're going to flood these YouTube shorts and these TikToks
Mm-hmm.
and whatever, all of this social media to let people know exactly what we're doing and how it's original and different and unique than everybody else.
I
And
love
it's
it.
effective and it's working.
I love it. I love it. We gonna end with that, big bro. I appreciate you so much, man. And I'm about to chop some of this stuff up. I'm gonna save it and chop it up. And I got your email, so I'm gonna share it with you so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Type like it's really a cool thing. Like for real.
Yes, sir.
All right,
I
man.
look
You
forward to it.
you have a good night. Don't stay up too late partying just because it's your night off.
No, no.
All right,
All right,
later,
man.
man. Peace, Luke.
Peace.